Imagine this. You're on a research vessel, miles from shore. The ocean floor is your job site. Suddenly, the sonar screen lights up. There's something down there, something big, something that doesn't belong. That's how it often starts. The discovery of a shipwreck. It's not always treasure hunters or adventurers. Sometimes it's scientists, just doing their jobs. In our story, the scientists got lucky. They were looking for underwater mountains, not sunken ships. But the ocean works in mysterious ways. This blip on their screen turned out to be a piece of history. A ship lost for centuries. The excitement on that research vessel was real. They knew they were on the verge of something big. The crew immediately started taking more readings. They needed to figure out the size and shape of the object. Was it just a pile of debris? Or was it an intact ship resting on the ocean floor? The more scans they did, the clearer it became. This wasn't just any wreck. This was something special. The next step was identifying the ship. Every ship has a story. Who built it? Where did it sail? And what was its ultimate fate? Finding answers deep underwater is like solving a giant jigsaw puzzle. You have to piece together clues from the wreckage itself. The scientists used remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs. These underwater robots have cameras and arms. They can get into places too dangerous for divers. The ROVs sent back incredible images. We saw cannons still pointing out from the deck. We saw chests, their contents a mystery. And then we saw it, the ship's bell. It was covered in coral, but you could still make out the name and the date. The Sea Serpent, 1742. Research told us the Sea Serpent was a merchant vessel. It sailed between England and the East Indies, carrying spices, silks, and tea. It was a dangerous journey in those days. Storms, pirates, and navigational errors were constant threats. Now, centuries later, the Sea Serpent was a time capsule, ready to tell its tale. Finding the shipwreck was just the beginning. Now came the hard part, exploring it. This is where the real work and the real danger begin. Diving on a shipwreck is not for the faint of heart. It's dark, it's cold, and the pressure is immense. Before any diver goes down, the site has to be carefully mapped. They need to know where everything is: the masts, the cargo hold, any potential hazards. Divers use special breathing mixtures to deal with the pressure at depth. They carry lights to pierce the murky darkness, and they always dive in pairs, for safety. Every movement underwater stirs up silt and sediment. Visibility can drop to zero in an instant. It's like trying to find your way around a pitch-black room filled with obstacles. But for those who do this work, the rewards are worth the risk. Each dive is a journey into the past, a chance to touch history with your own hands. Section 4. Treasures in the Deep. What the ocean preserved. So, what did we find on the Sea Serpent? Well, treasure comes in many forms. Sometimes it's gold and jewels. Other times, it's something far more valuable: knowledge. On this ship, we found both. The ROVs recovered chests filled with perfectly preserved artifacts. There were navigational instruments, still gleaming after all these years. There were leather-bound books, their pages stuck together but still legible. And then, there were the personal effects. A comb, with a few strands of hair still caught in its teeth. A child's doll, carved from wood. A letter, written in a flowing hand, describing the voyage. These weren't just objects. They were pieces of people's lives, frozen in time. They reminded us that the Sea Serpent wasn't just a ship. It was a floating community, full of hopes and dreams, just like ours. Section 5. A dangerous game. Why exploring wrecks is tough. Let me tell you, diving on a shipwreck is not a walk in the park. It's more like trying to do your job in a collapsing building, underwater. The ocean is a powerful force. It can tear a ship apart, scattering its remains over a wide area. Currents shift the sand, burying some parts of the wreck and exposing others. Then there's the marine life. Corals and sponges encrust the wreckage, creating a beautiful but fragile ecosystem. Fish dart in and out of broken windows. Sharks patrol the perimeter, curious about these strange visitors. Divers have to respect the environment they're working in. One wrong move can damage centuries-old artifacts or disrupt the delicate balance of life on the wreck. It's dangerous, it's dirty, and it's downright difficult. But for those who are passionate about maritime history, it's the only job worth doing. Section 6. More than just old boats. What shipwrecks teach us. Shipwrecks aren't just piles of wood and metal at the bottom of the sea. They're time capsules. They offer us a glimpse into the past, a way to connect with the people who came before us. By studying shipwrecks, we learn about shipbuilding techniques, trade routes, and the everyday lives of sailors. We can learn about the foods they ate, the clothes they wore, and the tools they used. We can even learn about their beliefs and customs. For example, many ships carried religious icons or lucky charms. These objects tell us about the things that were important to sailors in their lives. Shipwrecks can also teach us about the environment. By studying the wood used to build the ship, we can learn about the forests that existed centuries ago. By analyzing the growth of coral on the wreck, we can track changes in ocean temperature and acidity. Section 7. Lost at sea, found in our minds. Why we can't look away. Why are we so drawn to shipwrecks? I think it's because they represent the ultimate mystery, the power of the sea. They remind us that for all our technology and progress, nature is still in control. Every shipwreck is a story of adventure, danger, and loss. But it's also a story of human resilience and our enduring fascination with the unknown. When we look at a shipwreck, we're not just seeing a sunken ship. We're seeing the ghosts of the past, the echoes of lives lived and lost. We're reminded of our own mortality and the preciousness of time. And maybe, just maybe, we're inspired to explore the mysteries of the world around us, both above and below the waves.